she said. So this is the only thing. This says, you signed it, no other person has a right to the decedent's interest in the above property.
Yeah, because I believe it's my money. Exactly my money.
Do you know what the law is in the state of California with regard to someone who dies without a will?
But that's not...
Do you know what the law is in the state of California with regard to someone who dies without a will, Mrs. Fisher? How their property is distributed if they have children. Mrs. Fisher, you're not a...
Yeah, but these children... you can ask my sister if anybody saw her ever at his house. She didn't want to know. She has no relationship. She's 31 years old. She never showed her face. When he was on a deathbed, she left for the wedding and left. I begged her, please don't leave. She said, we'll see about it. And she went to Utah for her boyfriend, sister wedding. And he was dying there. And when she came back, she was angry with me. Why didn't you disconnect him? Why you let him suffer like that? She started hating me for that.
Mrs. Fisher, 10 minutes ago, you tried to deflect my attention from something. My court officer has known me for 15, 20 years. He will tell you that I have a mind like a vice. The question I asked you was, in the state of California, you know that when you die without a will, your property is divided if you have a wife, between your wife and your children, and if you don't have a wife, and if you just have children, then it's just the children, and if you just have grandchildren, then it's the grandchildren. So you knew that she was entitled to 1/3.
No, I didn't. My lawyer told me that
Don't tell me what your lawyer told you.
Yeah, that's what he told me.
Don't tell me what your lawyer told you. You believe that because these stocks were bought and sold during the course of the time that you lived together, that's community property.
Though. He had 2 accounts, which they collected the same almost amount that I collected.
Just a second. She didn't collect anything.
Because her father didn't count her in, even on IRA. Ask why she's not on it. Her name wasn't even there.
That was a different sister. Her other sister collected because that property was left. Her sister was the beneficiary.
She was the younger beneficiary for anything.
She was the baby.
Mrs. Fisher, I'm just going to ask you a couple more questions, please, and then I'm going to finish this case. When you married your husband 3 years ago...
That's right.
How much money did you have in the bank?
Who? Me?
You!
It's your business.
Excuse me?
I have $20,000 on my own.
Show me.
Show?
Yeah.
Why
show me? You had $20,000 of your own?
Yes. I have an IRA that I put both children on it, but he didn't. Because the way they were behaving, they weren't close at all.
Mrs. Fisher, you had $20,000 when you married him.
Yes.
In your own IRAs, is that right?
On my IRA, right.
You still have your IRA?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. Still have your IRA. And how much did you collect from your husband's estate up until today's date?
How much I collected?
Yes. How much money?
$19,000. $19,000.
Just on the single.
And I spent $9,000 for the funeral.
Just a second. $19,000.
Right.
That's all you collected, was $19,000? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Go ahead.
That is only on his own account with his own name. That does not contribute to the car that he had fully paid and all their joint accounts.
I'm talking about everything. The joint accounts, Mrs. Fisher, not only this $19,000.
We only have one checking account, and that's it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Okay, now you can go shopping for the next husband to rob.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Raisa Fisher says her late husband did not want his daughter to benefit from the money he left behind. Svetlana Fisher says her father left her at least part of the money.
How much money was there, Miss Fisher, in the joint accounts?
I don't know. I have no idea. I never inquired.
It's what?
How much we had? Like 5? I don't remember now. Maybe 3,000, maybe 5,000. I don't remember now.
Well, this is money that you owe her. There was $19,000. How many sisters do you have?
My sister had a lawsuit that she was in court last month, and she won. And Raisa is appealing that, but she won because it was, again, 1/3, same situation. I believe that she is countersuing me for any funeral expenses because she's bitter and angry. Because my mother was the one who took my dad to the hospital when he died, not her.
It was my card. It was my card.
card, insurance card.
Judy, can I tell you
And she's just bitter and angry because
no,
my
I'm not
father
bitter. I
had
don't mind-
friendly
okay,
relationships.
Let me say something, okay? My husband didn't keep his job. He was a very good engineer, but mostly he was doing stocks. That was like his job. And he was in and out of job, never had insurance. After extensive surgery 2 years ago, I continued working for a minimum wage almost. I'm working for May company, okay? And sustaining that insurance that they didn't cost him, instead of being grateful to me, my insurance paid over $300,000 for his illness, for her father's illness. And I was there day and night, in and out of the emergency room because I had a nervous breakdown. So that's how close I was to my husband, how I loved him, and I was there for him. But she wasn't. She went to the wedding. She went to the wedding when he was dying. I don't think she does not deserve any money. Nothing. None.
Well, I'm telling you right now, you are mistaken. You are mistaken.
I don't know. And plus,
you don't know. I'm telling you.
She's an optometrist. She drives Lexus. She lives south of Boulevard. Look at me. I live in a rundown apartment in Reseda. And I am poor. I am the one poor. She's rich.
Listen to me.
They both
Mrs.
drive
Fisher,
Lexuses.
I want you to listen to me, madam.
They both
Listen
drive.
to me.
Okay.
Very carefully.
Yeah.
Right? You were not married to your husband for 30 years.
Doesn't matter.
Yep.
right.
Listen to me.
I was
No,
close to
there's
him.
a certain equity, madam. I want to explain. There's a certain equity. If you were married to this man for 30 years, I would have a lot more sympathy in your position when you say, look, I need the money. I'm poor. I understand that he had children from a prior relationship, but we cared for each other. We had a life together for 30 years. You were married for 3 years before he died.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
I'm not a greedy person. Absolutely not.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. A stepmother and daughter at war over her father's estate. Svetlana and Raisa Fisher are fighting over the money left behind.
Read
You
this
had
letter,
plenty of
please.
money.
Can
Listen
you
to
read
me,
this
Mrs.
letter,
Fisher.
please?
You have a countersuit.
That Svetlana says that she has no relevance to
You
his...
have a countersuit for the funeral expenses. You are not. They are not responsible for the funeral expenses.
Why am I then responsible?
No, you're
Only
not.
3 years married.
I want to explain something to you. If you had to go into your own money to pay for your husband's funeral expenses, I would, as a matter of equity, see to it that they had to contribute to that. You just told me a moment ago you are whole. You came into this marriage 3 years ago with $20,000 in your IRA. You still have $20,000 in your IRA.
No, I have
in
more
addition,
than that.
well, now you have more, but
I have
certainly you
20.
didn't go into your own personal.
22,000.
Hey, I'm speaking.
I'm sorry.
You didn't go into your own personal money to pay for your husband of 3 years for his funeral. He left more than sufficient amount of money to pay for his funeral.
Yeah, but I'm not the one suing. They made my life hell. They dragged me to courts in and out, both of them. Ask when his daughter visited her father, or ask or give him something for the Father's Day last year. What did they give him? They didn't give him
Please,
anything.
listen to me. Listen to me. Your lawsuit seeks $5,000. You are owed under this.
Thank you.
Under the account that should have been distributed under the laws of intestacy in this and most other jurisdictions. You are owed at minimum $6,000.
Exactly.
And therefore, I am awarding you $5,000.
Thank you.
Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff, $5,000. The countersuit for the funeral expenses is dismissed. The deceased paid for his own funeral expenses out of his own money. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you very much.
I'll be back over to your
She
right.
doesn't deserve a penny.
Which